Check this out. It's the middle of June and we have frost on the roof of our barn. That's crazy. So if you've been watching my kind of continuing story about this little baby bottle calf here, my little baby orphan bottle calf, I had him half Jersey, half Angus, about 2 weeks old, and I had him penned up for a little bit, and I actually had him penned up over here in the corner, and today I just took down the panels and made a smaller pen. So the smaller pen basically is just to feed them, and there's definitely enough cows in here. There wasn't enough room in 2 stalls for all these cows. There's just too many cows for just 2 stalls. These big bulls, I think 2 of them take up 1 stall by themselves. They are massive. These guys probably weigh over 2,000 pounds a piece. Yeah, what is that? Yeah, this is T-Bone here. He's my friendlier bull, I would say. So these guys definitely opens it up. I mean, if I get any more cows than this this thing's gonna be overflowing with cows. So I think the little baby's big enough to get around on his own. I didn't see him nursing this morning, but he definitely took a bottle, no problem at all. Okay, these guys are 3 weeks and 1 day old, and I have their 4th ever meal, and they're starting to climb on me and whine a little like, hey, I think you have something good that we want. Oh yeah, I think they might have figured it out. Alright, yeah. How about this little puppy? How about this little puppy? Ugh. There you go. They're trying to suck on my shoe like they're trying to nurse. Yep, I am not mama, but I do have something good for you. I do have something good for you. Yeah. Oh yeah. 4th feeding, they all caught on. I think. Yeah, this guy's kind of lost. This guy's a little lost, huh? Right here. Let me put your foot in it. Yeah, let me put your foot in it. It's right there. There you go. Yeah, they're kind of catching on. Need a little assistance here and there. Okay, I just looked back at my last little clip. These are good. I had the age wrong on these guys. They're actually 3.5 weeks and 1 day. So, coming up on 4 weeks old. They are just a little bundle of cuteness, yeah. And they're all kind of trying to figure out the whole canned food thing. They're getting a little bit playful and interactive, and it's good to see them out of the crawling mode. They weren't very interactive back in the crawling mode. They were really cute though. Now they finished eating and they have new bedding, and they are just so cute. They all want to start playing. Yeah. Pretty soon they'll all be climbing all over me, running around. He's a little crier. Still have the little crier and the one that growls. Pretty typical. It's pretty funny. So cute. Yeah. Ow! And they have sharp teeth too. Very, very sharp teeth. Yeah. So I was just going through my hatchlings, and I don't know how well this is coming out through the camera, but I just wanted to show you how stunning this coral glow is after he shit out and ate a few meals. It's just really a good looking, just really amazing how good the snake looks. It's pretty awesome. So I'm in here cleaning tubs, and Lucy's been pacing back and forth this whole time. She is ready for a rat. So I have one here all prepared. So these are basically my retired, this is a retired male, and this is about as big as they get, and the way I euthanize them, basically, I don't know if I've ever showed you this, but I just use like a locking Tupperware, and then I put this little valve stem, like from a car, and I took out the core, and I just hook it up to a tank and a regulator, and gas them with CO2 for 3 minutes. It's the most humane. Apparently it's supposed to numb them out before it actually causes them discomfort, I guess, with the CO2. But yeah, this is a really huge big rat. And this guy is so old that if I wouldn't have euthanized him, he probably would have died of old age within months, because they don't really live that long. They live maybe a year and a half, 2 years, and he's probably close to, I'd say he's probably close to 2 years. But Lucy, she is really pacing. This is going to be interesting. She is a big girl. And take a look at this. Wow. Wow. I try to kind of lift her up by the rat, because if I drop her too quick, she'll actually kind of bonk her head on the ground. But she is a really big, massive snake, and she's been just really pounding the rats like you wouldn't believe. I think last week she ate like 5 of those rats, and I think she's actually getting ready for the next breeding season, because I paired her up with Sunny. Sunny's the mate down here. This is the male. Where is he? And they should make some really nice babies. So I'm hoping to pair them up this year and actually get a bunch of eggs from Lucy, which would be really cool. So Lucy ate that rat, and she is still pacing for another one, and she'll pace and pace and pace and kind of push against the tub until she has a bloody lip. And I think it's just because she gets too hungry. And sometimes she won't eat for months at a time, and sometimes she gets in this crazed feeding mode. So I actually prepared another rat, and I am going to feed her another one. Oh, she is primed and ready. Come on, Lucy. Ooh. Wow. She is a big, big snake. I think she could eat 3 or 4 of those all in a row. It's pretty incredible. So look at that little baby. That is my baby. Little baby, orphan baby. And that baby thinks I'm mama. I don't even have to call him anymore. So I got this bottle, and he'll probably just follow me. He's in the wrong cow. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Oh, yeah. He knows who mama is. Alright. Like to get him in this little pen here. Come on, baby. Alright. He's like a little puppy dog. Alright. There you go, baby. Ooh! Oh, how cute. Alright, so 2 days ago, I had some eggs that we cut. And today I kind of peeked in there, and it looked like most of the snakes had come out of the eggs. But before we look at some snakes, I kind of wanted to show you something. So I set up these, I set up all my babies in this hatchling rack. And normally what I do, here's kind of like one of the last ones. I usually use it's kind of a sphagnum moss in a netting. Well, I actually ran out of moss for these guys. So I'm going to try something a little different. And what I did, I had this coconut husk block left over. I used to use the coconut husk for a substrate, and I kind of went away from it for different reasons. Mostly because I think my snakes were getting it in their mouth during a feeding. So this is kind of the best of both worlds. I just kind of made this up. So I'm actually putting the coconut husk in this netting, and the netting is designed for like vegetables. You can buy like 100 of these for $10 on Amazon. It's really cheap. And the coconut block, it's like, you know, I can get them by the pallet, and I pay like $10 a piece. I still have like half a pallet of these things. So if I could actually go to this, it'd be a lot cheaper than the moss. But the thing is I don't think it's holding as much humidity as the moss. I don't know. I guess we'll see how it dries out. And I kind of like, instead of going around and spraying all the tubs, I can just take this out, dunk it in a bucket, and put it back in. So that's kind of cool. It seems like it'd speed things up. So I'm going to put this camera on a tripod and just kind of show you how I do this. So normally I wouldn't soak a block like this. So what I'm doing is just basically soaking one side, just taking a little bit off, just because I don't want to soak the whole block. I know normally what you do is you'd submerge the whole block for, you know, like 30 seconds, and the whole thing would fall apart. But I don't really want to take the whole block apart. I just kind of want to try this out. So I have a little bit there, and then this stuff, it's kind of weird. You can almost not even see it once you expand it. And then I've just been taking a handful and putting it in there and kind of making sure it's all on the bottom. I got a little piece stuck in there. And then just basically tie one knot. And then, get my scissors. And cut it. That's it. So then I just kind of squeeze out the excess water. And that's pretty much all there is to it. Alright. So let's take a look at these snakes. And see what we have here. Right. Wow, I think they're all out. Yeah, the last one came out of his shell. Wow. That is a bunch of snakes. Check it out. Oh yeah. Wow. They're pretty warm too. Wow, that is a bunch of bamboos there. And one that's not a bamboo. Alright, so I'm going to go through these one by one, and I'll set up the tripod and we'll check them out. So if you haven't seen this before, this is kind of my setup here. So what I do first usually is probe them, and I have this little probe kit here. Oh, if I can open it. And so basically what the probe does is it allows you to tell the males from the female. And I just use the smallest probe, and it goes right into the pocket on the tail of the snake, and it's real easy. You can tell the males from the females. And then I use a little lubricant just to make the probe going easier. And then what I do is I'll label basically I'll label the tub with a label maker, put it on this magnetic tape, cut it with the scissors, and we will put it in the hatchling rack. So let's check these out. Alright, so I'm going to start with this one. Obviously it's not a bamboo. All the other ones are bamboo. So this pairing was actually, let's see, it was just a pastel female crossed with my bamboo male. So my last video I kept saying, oh yeah, we got a whole bunch of bamboos and a pastel. And actually, before I post the videos, I basically take just little clips, and you'll see me like fade in and out between the clips. And then basically what I do is I merge them all together and kind of review the whole video before it goes live. And if there's any like major mistakes, I'll usually cut out that clip or replace it with another one. Or most of the times I'll just put them all together, and sometimes I'll just leave the mistakes in. And last time I actually left the mistake in. And believe it or not, one of the viewers caught it and said, I don't think that's a pastel. And guess what? After I think about it and after I looked at the snake, I don't think it's a pastel either. I think that's just a plain old normal. I think it's one of the more yellower normals, and you can kind of see the patterns broke up just a little bit more, like right through here. Not as many alien heads. But you can see alien head is kind of like that right there. That's what we call an alien head. And usually normals have a lot of alien heads all through them. So this one doesn't quite have as many, I guess what you'd consider real obvious alien heads. But I would definitely say that this is just a regular old normal. And it is a super big fat one too. And I probed it, and it's a female, so female normals I think they're always good to have in a collection, because you can pick up, you can pick up breeder female normals fairly cheap. A breeder size normal, I've seen them, go for like, I don't want to throw out a price, but they're usually some of the cheapest females that you can pick up, and you can breed something like a bamboo to it and get, half bamboos or scaleless heads, or you can also breed like a 5 or 6 gene male to it and get a whole rainbow of colors of snakes. So it's kind of an easy way to expand your breeding operation in an inexpensive way. So yeah, I probably won't hang on to it. I'm sure I'll sell it at the show. So I'm not sure exactly what to charge for a normal female hatchling, but I'm sure it'll be extremely affordable. So here's the setup for that one, down in my file cabinet of snakes. So I got them in there and put this. I did notice that the Pro Cocoa really stains everything, the coconut husk. So I'm sure it'll, I'm not sure if this will, I guess it's okay. I noticed if it got in my water, it would turn the water like into a tea, and I really like that it's contained in here. And it's kind of flat to where, I've noticed the hatchlings like to get up on this and just kind of hang out on the little the moss ball. So I'm sure you will on this one too. So that's a pretty nice little setup. And then for the tag, basically, this is kind of how I set it up. 18 for 2018, C6 for my sixth clutch of ball python babies. F for female, and it is a normal. Alright, so I was kind of looking at these last 4, and I think we might actually have a problem with one of them. If you notice this one here, I noticed this one was the last one to come out of the egg. And if you can look at his head head is a lot smaller, and he's got this bulge right in his belly, and boy, it doesn't really look that hot. I know his head's quite a bit lighter, so I'm thinking he's got pastel in it just from the lighter head. And some of these, it's they're all balled up, but I think maybe the lighter heads have the pastel in them. So I think maybe these two are pastels, and I think these two are regulars. Kind of just a guess. This guy looks really, really dry. So I think I'm gonna take a look at this one that looks like it has a little problem. So I very carefully probed this guy, and it's a female. Although the way it looks, I don't know. I would say, take a look at this belly. This does not look good to me. This looks like there's something going on, and I would say it's possible that this snake might not live very long. And with the smaller head and kind of the problem it's having, I would almost prefer to label this as like a pet quality if it does survive. But you know, I've seen some people, you know, they'll have snakes that aren't 100%. They'll have like a little kink or something kind of weird going on, like maybe one eye or something, and they'll sell them real cheap as pet quality. And I think something like that would be appropriate for a snake like this. It still has a lot of really beautiful colors. I mean, if it can come out of this, whatever is going on with his belly. The small head's kind of interesting. It'd be interesting to see if she can come out of that and grow into, you know, a regular sized snake. But yeah, it's kind of unfortunate about what's going on with the abdomen here. I'm not quite sure what that is. Still a pretty cool snake though. So on this one, I actually marked it that it had a small head and a small body. So I like to kind of mark them, because you know, you get so many that you don't know which is which, and when you pull one out, it's nice to know on the tag what's going on. Okay, so here's the next one. I think I'm starting to get in the hang of these these bamboos. So with this clutch, it's interesting that a lot of the pattern still comes down the sides, but I'm thinking the pastel, you can tell the pastel by the amount of color on the head, because this one has a really kind of a blushed out head, and I think that's an indicator. I mean, in most snakes there's kind of green in the eyes. It's hard to tell on this if that's a green eye. The eyes are so dark that it's really hard to tell, but I'm pretty sure this is a pastel bamboo. And I probed him, and it's a male. So, and I always kind of like to, especially if I'm at a show or something, and someone hands me a snake, you know, they tend to ball up like this, and and the hard part is, balled up like this, you can't really tell if it has kinks in it. And I've actually held a snake at a show, and I really considered buying it, and that particular snake unraveled, crawled across my hand, and sure enough, it had a really big kink in the neck. So I always like to, it takes a little bit for them to relax and open up, but if you can get them up and about and kind of uncoiled and moving, it just takes a little coaxing to get them to relax to the point where they're comfortable. The snake really has to be comfortable. If it balls up, it's basically still scared. But yeah, this one's getting comfortable. Wow. Haha, that is a beautiful snake. Now that it unraveled, that is a real stunner. That is really something. Look at that. Wow. That is amazing. These bamboos are just breathtaking. It's pretty amazing. I just can't believe the amount of contrast in these guys. Doesn't even look real. That's amazing. Yeah, I'll probably sell that one at the show. Of course, a pastel bamboo might be good to replace my my breeder male, especially one that looks this good. So, I haven't quite decided which ones I'm going to hold back and which ones I'm going to sell yet. So, I think I'm going to wait till the very end until they're all hatched out, and then kind of go through and make some decisions. Alright, take a look at this one. This is just a straight bamboo. Got some really nice patterns along the side. And I probed it, and it's a girl. I was thinking this year I'm almost tempted to hold back all my females just for to kind of expand a little bit. But I'm not sure exactly. This one's got some really kind of mixed up pattern right kind of through here, which is pretty cool. But she is really, really dry. Wow. She is like super dry. But, and it's funny because they don't really look good until they shed out. I have some coral glows that shed out, and I'm gonna have to go through all my hatchlings once they shed out, because it's like night and day between what you're seeing now and after a shed. And usually after the first shed, they're brighter than they ever will be in their whole life. And most snakes kind of get dull. I think with the exception of maybe like a desert ghost or something like that that tends to intensify a little bit. But this is a really good looking snake. And I would really like to get her to the point where she kind of relaxes and crawls around a little bit. Because you always really want to check for kinks. The last thing you want to do is get to a show and someone picks up one of your snakes that you got, you know, a high dollar amount on it and says, hey, this snake has a kink, and you didn't even know it. Which is kind of embarrassing. So, wow. That's another good looking snake. I still think the straight bamboos are the prettiest, like this girl. She definitely does not have any kinks. Oh yeah, that's beautiful. Yeah, take a look at this beauty here. That's incredible. Yeah. I'm going to have a lot of bamboos. I don't know if you've been watching, but it's like clutch after clutch. I'm getting a lot of bamboos. And I was thinking, you know, with the odds the way they are, you never know. You know, you can hatch out one bamboo in 4 normals, and it just happened to flip-flop on this one and go completely the opposite way. So I've just been so fortunate this year with the odds on all my clutches. Pretty incredible. Alright, so here's the last one. It's a straight bamboo, as far as I can tell. I'm pretty sure on these bamboos, but it's a little confusing. But I probed it, and she is a female. Beautiful, beautiful. So, I probably don't want that many bamboo females. I actually have a clutch in the incubator of a bamboo lesser clutch, and if I hit the bamboo lesser, it's going to be an all-white snake, and I'm kind of hoping a male on that one, because it's actually a lilac, which means it acts as a super, so everything would either be bamboo or lesser, which would be really cool. You get no normals at all. So I might actually hold back one of those as a male. You can't keep them all, though. There's so many cool snakes. It's like you just can't keep them all. So this guy doesn't look like she has any kinks. So this one seems really, really big. It's one of the biggest hatchlings I've ever seen, I think. And this was only a 5-egg clutch, so it wasn't like a really huge clutch. And the eggs were a decent size. That's still a really, really neat snake. She is running. It's funny, they almost look like a metallic, almost like they're made of metal or something. That's pretty wild. Huh. She's really cool. So when it comes to identification of these hatchlings, you know, I'm kind of shooting from the hip because, you know, sometimes I think about it and I look back at the videos and I kind of look at the snake again and go, you know, I think I was wrong on that one. And actually, one of my viewers, one of my earlier clutches, he says, I identified it as a pinstripe, and he's like, hey, I guarantee that is a lemon blast, which is a pastel pinstripe. And I pretty much agree. So if you take a look at what I have here, they kind of shed so you can see them a little bit better, but this is what a pinstripe looks like. Pretty obvious pinstripe. And then over here I have a lemon blast. So basically a lemon blast is the pinstripe with pastel. You just add the pastel and it really intensifies it, breaks everything up. So I actually have another one that was kind of in between, and I labeled it pinstripe with maybe fire, but he thinks it's a lemon blast, and I'm kind of leaning towards that too. So I think it's just a lemon blast. I think it has the pastel in it, but it's just not as broken up as the other one. So I think I'm actually just going to relabel this one. Instead of the fire, I wasn't quite sure. It just looked completely different. I think I'm just going to label that as a pastel pinstripe, a lemon blast. So that's pretty much it. And if you notice, all the tubs with stickers on them have snakes in them, and that's all of these, except the last two. So I have room for 2 more snakes. And I've been having a hard time with getting a couple of these first ones to eat, so we might have to do some assist feeding at some point. And I kind of moved some pinkies down through some of these, some rat pinkies, and just a couple of them ate. I think a lot of them are still too new to really eat. Usually have to wait till they shed out. But that's pretty much it for today's video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.